So, it's that time in the week where I give you my score predictions for this weekend's fixtures. It is game week 3 of the 25-26 season in League 1. Before I give you my score predictions, smash that like button for me. It helps the video perform better on YouTube. Also, let me know down in the video comments your score predictions. And if you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Lewis. I make Luton and EFL content. If you are new to my channel and new to these score prediction videos, I'm having a competition between myself and AI on who can get the most scorelines correct throughout the football season. At this moment in time, AI is beating me 2-1. But then in the last video, you guys actually said, Lewis, you should actually do the correct result as well. So if we look at just the correct result, I am beating AI 8-7. So at the moment, score predictions wise, AI is beating me 2-1. But overall, in terms of getting the right result, I'm beating AI 8-7. I have to be honest with you, there are some tough games in game week 3. Some games that could go either way. And me and AI, and you're going to find out towards the end of the video, we've definitely disagree on a few things on how the game is going to go and which side is going to win. So let's start off with Burton versus Port Vale. So again, this game is really tough to separate which team is going to win. Despite not winning the opening 2 matches, Port Vale did perform very well against 10 men. Rotherham in the second half, and they also should have got the 3 points against Cardiff. They were very dominant in that game, not just for a period of time, throughout the whole 90 minutes. But Burton, they won the first game of the season against Mansfield, and they also did go 2-0 up away against Barnsley, but unfortunately, they did lose the game in the end. If they can look after the ball better compared to what they did against Barnsley, against Port Vale, I can see them getting something from the game if they do look after the ball better, but I've got a feeling Port Vale, they'll be strong, and I think they're going to get something. In fact, I am leaning towards more Port Vale to get in the 3 points, but I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Exeter versus Mansfield, I've gone 2-1 to Exeter. I finally have seen something from Exeter. I've been very critical of them since I've been doing these videos because I didn't know how they were going to do this year. I have predicted them to get relegated, but a very impressive performance. Not just the result, but the actual performance against Blackpool was very good. Their home form is going to be absolutely massive if they're going to stay up this season, and I feel like the result against Blackpool would definitely give the players a lot of confidence. Mansfield, despite not winning their first 2 league games of the season, they did get a really good result against local rivals Chesterfield in the Cup, so that might give them some confidence going into this game, but I have gone with the home side here. I reckon Exeter will win 2-1. Barnsley versus Bolton. I found this game very tough to predict. Barnsley have won their first 2 league games of the season. Bolton, they've got an impressive win against Plymouth at home. Yes, they lost their first game of the season against Stockport, but the first half performance against them was very good, and then the whole performance against Plymouth was also very good. So the football which I've seen from Bolton compared to Barnsley, I think has been better, and that's why I'm going towards the away side here. I just don't think Barnsley defensively are going to be able to handle the Bolton attack, but then again, Barnsley going forward will trouble Bolton. So I think this is going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be one side dominating it, but I just feel like if Burton can go to Barnsley and cause them problems, imagine what Bolton are going to do to Barnsley at their ground. So I've gone with a 2-1 win to the away side. Blackpool versus Huddersfield, I've gone with the away side again. Again, this is another game where I found it really tough to predict who's going to win on the basis of I'm expecting Blackpool to turn up. The defending, what's been going on with the defending at Blackpool? Too many individual mistakes. I did not expect that result to happen away against Exeter. Of course, losing the first home game of the season against Stevenage as well. You're coming up against a Huddersfield side that are full of confidence. The new players have gelled. They've got clean sheets. They beat Leicester in the Cup. Confidence is such a high right now for Huddersfield, and I just don't know if that's going to drop in this game. I do think Blackpool would give Huddersfield the biggest test so far this season because of the players that Blackpool do have. But I just feel like Huddersfield are going to win this game. Blackpool really need a clean sheet and then they can build from there. But whether or not they're going to get that in this game, I'm not too sure. So I've gone with the away side here. Bradford versus Luton, I've gone with a boring 0-0. The reason for this is because both teams, I think, can defend well. Luton have been very organised and structured. Bradford have always been organised and structured, especially being at home. Graham Alexander's home form has been very good since he's been the Bradford manager. Both teams play the same formation, flash system. Of course, Luton have the better quality in terms of players, but I just think with Bradford being at home, the crowd being behind them, I just feel like Luton are going to struggle going forward. It's not been clicking at the moment in terms of scoring goals. Yes, Luton have won the last 2 games. Luton have just found it really tough to create clear-cut opportunities, and because Bradford are, organised and structured at the back, they are a team that will want to win the battle in the midfield. I just feel like it's going to be quite an even game. Hopefully it's not going to be a boring 0-0 because I am going to the game. It's my first visit to Bradford, so hopefully it's something to remember, but I can't separate both teams here, so I've gone with a 0-0 draw. Cardiff versus Rotherham. I've gone with a 3-1 win to the home side. Now, as mentioned above, Cardiff were very lucky to walk away with a point against Vale. They were not at it at all, really. They lost the battle in midfield. They weren't winning the second balls, the third balls. They just weren't winning any battles across the pitch. Vale wanted it more. But Cardiff, they walked away with something from the game. And when you're not performing well, you still got to grind and still got to get something from matches, and which they did. At home against Peterborough, I thought they performed very well. They created loads of opportunities, and I feel like it's going to be the same here. I've got a big question mark over Rotherham's defending. Yes, they haven't conceded loads of goals, but teams have created loads of chances against them. Vale managed to do it with 10 men, especially in the second half, and Stevenage also managed to create loads of opportunities, and I feel like Cardiff will take full advantage of that, especially being the home side, and that's why I've gone with them to win 3-1. Doncaster versus Wycombe. Doncaster are looking very good at this moment in time. 2 wins out of 2. Wycombe have obviously lost their first 2 league games, but I think this is because of the amount of turnover they've had in the summer window. They keep signing players, and the players just need to gel. I think they will get better as the season goes on, so I'm expecting them to pick up something very soon. They did manage to win in the cup as well, but so did Doncaster. They managed to beat Middlesbrough 4-0. Now I know I shouldn't really be looking at the cup games because teams do rotate their starting 11 and so on, but that will give you so much confidence amongst the squad, amongst the fan base, going to a championship side and beating them the way they did. I feel like there's lots of confidence at Doncaster. There's a lot of good feel factor, the momentum from the promotion winning season. But I feel like Wycombe, slowly they are getting there. So I've gone with a draw. I can't see Wycombe losing 3 league games in a row. Leighton Orient 1, Stockport County 2. Another tough game for me to predict. I like to think Leighton Orient will give Stockport County a really good game. Stockport, of course, want a bit of revenge following what happened in the playoff semi-finals last season. I still think the new players are gelling at Leighton Orient, so I think this game has come at the wrong time for them. Whereas with Stockport County, they've started off the League One season very well. The quality which they've got in the team, beating Bolton and then going to Wycombe, they're good wins on paper. They're not bad results, they're not playing against teams that I think are going to finish just above those relegation places. I think they're beating teams that have a chance of getting into the playoffs, so I just can't see them dropping points. They look very strong. I'd be amazed if Stockport lose against Leighton Orient. So I reckon they're going to win 2-1. Lincoln 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. Plymouth right now don't look good. Lincoln were very unlucky with the red card, I felt, away against AFC Wimbledon. And that, of course, did change the game. Wimbledon are not the easiest team to break down, especially with 11 players, never mind 10. I just don't know if Plymouth have it in them to go to Lincoln and get the 3 points. We need to see a reaction from Argyle, in my opinion. I think, again, it's roughly the same with Leighton Orient. They need their group of players to gel, and I don't think they've quite got that yet. I think it just needs more time together. I just think, attacking-wise, Lincoln, they will create opportunities and they will score goals. I've gone with a 1-1 draw here because I do think Plymouth, they need to get something. Again, another team I just can't see losing 3 league games in a row. If they do lose this game, the pressure is going to be on because already fans are not too happy with what's happened so far. Reading 0, AFC Wimbledon 0. Again, I think this has got 0-0 written all over it. The only way I see a goal happening is if someone scores from outside the box. And out of the two teams, it's most likely going to happen for Reading. Someone like Lewis Wing will have a shot from 30, 25 yards out, and it most likely will go in. That's the only way I see a goal happening. Wimbledon are so tough to break down. The way they defended against Lincoln and also against Luton has been quite impressive, and I expect that to continue in this game. Reading, I do think, will dominate the ball and create the most opportunities. Whether or not they have clear-cut opportunities is a different story altogether. I just think if they are going to score, it would be outside the box. Stevenage 2, Northampton 1. Stevenage are in great form right now. I think they've got a fantastic opportunity of gaining more points before the fixtures start getting a little bit tougher for them. Northampton, similar to what I said to Exeter, I'm going to keep predicting them to lose games until I see something. I've now seen something from Exeter. I still haven't seen anything from Northampton. Attacking wise, I just don't know how they're going to score goals. Against Bradford, where was the clear-cut opportunities? They were the home side, yet Bradford were the dominant side and should have ideally won the game. I don't know where the goals are coming. It does worry me, and until I see Northampton score goals, I'm going to just keep predicting them to lose games of football. Stevenage going forward look deadly. They look like they can create opportunities. Reed, their striker, has already scored 3 goals so far this season. I just can't see anything but a Stevenage win. And the last game is Wigan versus Peterborough. I've gone with a 1-0 win to the home side. Peterborough, for me, don't look good. I've been watching Peterborough quite frequently over the last, 10 to 15 years, watching football, going to home and away games. And I have to be honest with you, when I went to Peterborough last week to watch them play against Luton, that's the worst Peterborough side I've seen in my lifetime, in my opinion. I'm still young, I'm only 25 years old, but I've not seen a Peterborough side that bad before, especially going forward. Defensively, they're not great. They still concede a lot of chances, and when you pile on that pressure, they do crumble a bit. The goalkeeper, he makes loads of mistakes. I think if this game was the other way round, I can see Peterborough getting something from the game, but because they are the away side here, I'm not too sure. I think they're going to have a counter-attacking presence, but I think Wigan, their solid defensive foundations, especially at home, I can see them just nicking a goal and then just defending and waiting for Peterborough to try and break them down. So I've gone with the home side here. They've won a game already this year. I just think they've got enough in them to win the game. And also, they would want to bounce back after losing against Leighton Orient away from home last week. So yeah, home side for me to win this one. So just to recap on my score predictions throughout game week 3. So I've gone with a 1-1 draw between Burton and Port Vale, 2-1 to Exeter, 2-1 to Bolton, 2-1 to Huddersfield, 0-0 between Bradford and Luton, 3-1 to Cardiff, 1-1 between Donny and Wycombe, 2-1 to Stockport, 1-1 between Lincoln and Plymouth. I've gone with a 0-0 draw between Reading and Wimbledon, 2-1 to Stevenage against Northampton, and 1-0 for Wigan to beat Peterborough. Whereas me and AI have gone a little bit different this week. AI definitely disagrees with certain score predictions that I've decided to go with. So AI has decided to go with 1-1 between Burton and Port Vale, 2-1 to Mansfield, 2-1 to Bolton, 1-1 between Blackpool and Huddersfield, 2-0 to Luton, 2-0 to Cardiff, 2-1 for Wycombe to beat Donny, 3-1 for Stockport to beat Leighton Orient, 1-1 between Lincoln and Plymouth, 1-0 for Reading to win at home against Wimbledon, 2-1 for Stevenage to beat Northampton at home, and 2-2 between Wigan and Peterborough. So those are the score predictions from myself and AI. So that is the end of today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please smash the like button on today's video. It helps the video perform better on YouTube. Let me know your score predictions down in the video comments. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Yes, I am a Luton fan, but I do make EFL content, so I most likely will be talking about your club at some point throughout the League One season. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.